Okay, so this is my visual setup that I have at the moment, just using the one projector. It's Toshiba, and it's running at 1280 by 760, I think, which is not a bad resolution, but it's not a short throw projector. So if I had this projector just bouncing, turning around the other way, bouncing this way, I can't get a very big picture because I just don't have the room here behind the screen. So what I've done, in order to get that size picture, I've had to use a mirror. So as you can see, that the projector placed back here bounces the image through the mirror and then bounces it back onto the actual screen. So what in actual fact, I get all of that and then all of that distance again. So it's almost double the distance from here back to the screen. So that's how I've counteracted that at the moment. You'll see that horrible mark there. My best mate has lent me this projector very kindly, but unfortunately the innards are a little bit on their way out, put it that way, and it's produced this horrible watermark or whatever it is, as I think some of the things on the inside of the projector have gone, the bulb's on its way out, something like that. But anyway, I'm just using it for visual effect at the moment, and obviously when I get my 3 projector set up running at 1280 by 800, it's going to look much better, and they'll all be short throw projectors. So that's how I've got the visual set up. Back here I'm just running the power. Very important, I believe, is to have power surge protected stuff. Okay, you've got all this wonderful stuff. Protect yourself by putting in some sort of surge protection so that things don't fry up on you. Okay, here as well, this is how I'm supplying power to the flight sim. I got this wonderful idea off of the internet, and a couple of guys who are building their flight sims, Ian from the UK, who's built a fantastic 737 simulator, has helped me a lot when it comes to researching this type of thing and given me some great ideas. This here is a standard 350 watt power supply, and all the wires coming out of it, all I've done is tapped into basically the red and the black for 5 volts and the yellow and the black for 12 volts, and there's orange ones in there for 3.3 volts and that sort of thing. So all the lighting, any 12 volt lighting, I just attach to a black and yellow line, and any 5 volt lighting and power I need, I just attach to the black and red. Real easy. In order to get the power supply working, it obviously needs to draw power before it will start. So all I did was connect up here in this plug the green and the black. I just connected those together to enable it to start, basically, to provide power. Okay, the mode control panel, okay, which is essentially the heart of flying a modern day jetliner, either through the autopilot or through the flight director if you're flying it manually. This particular mode control panel is from Aerosoft, and I managed to buy this off a gentleman from eBay, and they brought this particular model out many years ago, and this one's been modified a little bit. You'll notice that it's got a front plate on it that lights up. It's all backlit. A guy by the name of Phil, who does some fantastic work when it comes to backlit panels for flight sim enthusiasts alike. The gentleman who owned this before me got Phil to make the backlit panel, one of the first I think that he ever made, and stuck it onto the front. So it really does replicate the 767 and the 757 remote control panel extremely well, and it looks really good in the sim, and I just wouldn't fly an airliner without one these days. Once you've had it and experienced how great they are to use when flying, you won't ever look back. That's all you want to use. Obviously, if you're building a 737, there's many different types out there on the market. Some are cheaper than others, and you can buy all types of remote control panels these days for 737s, 777s, 747s, that sort of thing. Next to it is obviously the VORs for the 767. They're going to go in there. I'll be buying them a little later on. In order to get this remote control panel working, and it works very well with the Level D 767 software, is it comes with a software disk, but I went onto some forums, and I asked people who have previously owned one of these if I could download or they could send me the software to run it. And that's all I did. I loaded the software, I ran it, and all I do is run the software first before loading Flight Simulator. It then understands what's on the screen here and links it to what's shown on the remote control panel on the Level D 767 when it's loaded. So then once your aircraft is loaded, whatever you do here, it does exactly the same as the Level D 767 software, so it works really well. Buttons and switches. This is a fairly common question most people have, is they want to know how you interface buttons and switches so that they work with Flight Simulator. What I have in here are all just pretty much standard momentary buttons, standard toggle switches, and I also have latching switches, which are your standard on-off latching switch, which I got off of eBay. Okay, overhead panel. How I built my overhead panel is fairly easy. All I've done is used a 6mm piece of MDF and basically screwed that to the structure that I built, and then I've just found the overhead picture of the 767 and then printed them out on high quality setting on my printer, or the best that the printer can do, and then I basically have just got each individual panel and printed it out, and then glued that paper to the 6mm MDF, and then put them all together, and when you join them up you get the full size overhead panel. Next, obviously, I want switches and rotary switches, buttons and things like that. So as you can see, the buttons that are in place now, all I did then was to drill a hole straight through where the switch will be, and then because I'm using square switches to match as best I can at this time for the 767, I've had to use a jigsaw to then make a round hole square so that I can fit the actual square switch through the hole. The switches that I've used for the overhead are this type here. They are a latching on-off switch, and by latching I mean you push them, they latch, the switch is on. You push them again, they unlatch, the switch is off. Red LED, I've just attached to that 5-volt power supply that I have at the front of the sim to run the LEDs. I'll be using rotary switches for these rotary switches here, which I haven't actually put on as yet. Toggle switches are the same. These are your standard on-off toggle switch. Down here as well, standard momentary switch, push and it changes the screen. You can push them like an on-off switch, but you only have to just press them lightly and it will change the screen. some more switches up there as well. They're exactly the same.